Hey guys, this is SupPup, and I'm bringing you a Rome Total War online commentary battle. This is a 2 vs 2 battle. I am in command of the Carthaginians. My ally, Max Mudfree, yes, that is my co-partner from YouTube, Max, commands the Senate. Our two opponents are the Julii Romans and the Greek city-states. So I was extremely thrilled to bring you guys this fight for two reasons. One, you guys have never seen me do a 2 vs 2 battle, so I felt it was due worth it. And the second reason is that my partner, as I told you, is Max, my co-partner. And I was extremely happy to finally fight alongside him again. His Rome Total War disc has been broken for some time, and that's why you guys haven't seen us in a fight together. But I was extremely happy that we could finally show you guys a dual fight with me and him, as we are both extremely good players in strategy games. So let's just take a quick look at each of our armies. The Greek city-states player, who is deployed across from Max, has 6 Spartan hoplites, 6 Cretan archers, and 4 militia cavalry. So he went a pure Spartan army and extremely weak cav. I expected the extremely weak cav, but the spam of Spartans I did not expect, because usually there's some armored hoplites, but this guy decided to just bring pure out Spartans. Here, I was able to do a phalanx rush on the opponent across from me, the Julii Romans, and I am absolutely decimating him, because what he brought is not very smart. He brought a legionary cohort spam, which is never a good idea, because legionary cohorts are nowhere near as good as urbans unless you count the fact that there are more men in the unit. I would have suggested for 15k, which was the denarii set in this battle, that he brought urbans. He went with more of a numerical superiority, but it's just not going to work because he doesn't have the amount of force necessary to take on Sacred Band. No, so he was versing a weaker faction such as the Numidians. I'd suggest it then, but otherwise, not really. I have not talking about my ally Max's army yet. Max actually brought a pretty unique army. He brought both Roman archers and archer auxilia, and then he brought urban cohorts and legionary cavalry. So he brought quite an interesting army. Here I am absolutely tearing straight through the legionary line because the legionary cohorts just cannot keep up with my Sacred Band. Here I also had a cavalry engagement over here, so that was a clear victory for me too, because I also threw in a set of pointy infantry. So this Roman player is now just in terrible danger of losing here. He doesn't really have much of an opportunity to save himself because he is rushing in all the reserves he can, but he just cannot keep my Sacred Band away. I'm just pushing right through his little legionary line. Now over here, the Greek city-states player is kind of having a staring contest more than not with my ally Max. So it's kind of like a staring fight over there, and he knows that if he moves, the Greek Max will likely just come in and attack immediately. So he needs to keep his front strong, but I don't know. He might have been able to save his partner in time before Max could get there, but he decided to keep his full line of Spartans right intact and just keep them right in that line. So that was an interesting strategy. You can see that the Roman infantry has now been completely decimated. There are no more legionaries left, and all I am doing right now is just mopping up the rest of the archer auxilia that my Julii Roman opponent brought with my Sacred Band cavalry. So it's just quite a simple matter for my men. You can see there's a bunch of dead Romans on the field right behind my Sacred Band. So it was a pretty clear victory there for me. He didn't just have enough power to keep my Sacred Band back, and that's what really cost him. And at this point in the video, I decided to cut it and come back when the fight with the Greeks had begun, because there is quite a bit of waiting and just annoying tactics with archers, and it's just kind of something that you don't need to see. So I'm going to leave with this, and I'm going to do a tactical retreat and leave with that. We're back, and the Greek city-states have decided to launch their Spartans right at my Sacred Band line, but they have only detached a couple of units, so They are being isolated now and completely devastated. I can afford to send 2 units of Sacred Band on 1 unit of Spartans, and they are just being decimated. It was not a very good strategy. On one of the Spartan units, however, I only have a set of pointy infantry, and I know that's a fight that my pointy infantry definitely cannot win, so I'm sending my cavalry around the flank to do a hammer and anvil, and that's going to immediately rout them as they just routed. So that's all the free sets that they sent have now been routed, and that is just complete devastation. Now, the Spartan player, or the Greek city-states player I should say, it's pretty much Spartan player because he just spams Spartans. He's kind of going into a freak-out mode now because he is slowly but surely being surrounded. You can see that my partner Max is now just completely working on the morale of the enemy Spartans. So it is just not looking good for the Greek city-states opponent. He is being completely showered by flaming arrows, and it's really working on the morale of his men. He's trying to just weaken the morale so I can get in there. Max is doing a great job of this. He really is doing a great job of weakening the enemy morale so I can just come in and I get an immediate rout. It's really helping the fight a ton. At this point, he notices that if this continues, then it's just going to be over. So he sends his Spartans right at Max's Archer Auxilia line, but Max was very quick at maneuvering and he brought up his urban line to shower Pilla on the enemy Spartans. There, Max was able to flame down the Greek city-states general, so that's just going to mark the end. The Spartans' morale was already low enough from the flaming arrows in the back and the side. There's just no way he can win. So Max is just going to do a complete full-out charge, and it's going to cause immediate routing. Max just has too much urbans for the Spartans to handle, and they're just going to start breaking left and right. I'm also rushing in my Sacred Band and pointy infantry just to get a complete surrounding maneuver. There's absolutely nothing he can do now. He decides to just sacrifice this unit of Spartans to me. He's just going to walk right into my phalanx line, and it's just going to mark devastation for him. So this was a very fun battle, I really must say. You can see there's not much left to this fight. I'm just tearing up the rest of his Spartans. Here Max decided just to do something fun and throw Pilla right into the back of these Spartans. It obviously was not necessary, but very funny nonetheless, and it's going to cause their immediate rout. He had enough Pilla left just to waste time anyway.
This is a crushing victory!
So that's going to mark the end of the fight. Both me and Max got an obscene number of kills. We both did extremely well. I hope you guys enjoyed this co-fight between the co-producers of Awesome Taco Game Guide. We're going to be doing more of these, so stay tuned.